Okay, so the next character is a little lesser known, Dr. T.J. Eckleberg. Everyone knows who that is, right?
Yeah.
No? I heard a no. So, you know how they always pass the eyes, watching from the sign? And it's the optometrist, Dr. T.J. Eckleberg. You know? Everybody knows? Remember? Okay, that's the next character. Yeah. You know, the eyes of God. Whatever. Anyway, so this is a fanfiction about the eyes of God. Exactly, the cover of the book. You know. That's the second beer that I spilled tonight. Okay. Dr. T.J. Eckleberg.
Let's put the tongue to the lips. Dr. T.J. Eckleberg. His eyes were weary, bored even. Eckleberg was so utterly done with presiding constantly over the endless debauchery of the Jazz Age as the sun melted into Westdahl. Another lonely, dusty night in the valley. This is long after the Gatsby man was shot dead, and all that terrible, hideous drama happened there on the ashy road. Eckleberg had been so appalled by all that, so sickened, but what could he do? He was merely a billboard, with a pair of steel, moon-shaped glasses affixed, permanently austere. The long, taut steel legs beneath him would not move, for he did not have any knees to walk with. He was a prisoner of his own form. Maybe if he hadn't been so tragically immobile, he could have toddled up to that lightning yellow car, that dastardly villainous murderer. How thrilling it would be to climb inside its evil interior, speeding over the bridge back to New York together. A couple of old sports out on the town looking for some hooch and mischief. Maybe at the end of a long night of dancing, of Charleston and moonshine, they would perhaps have fallen, knit into one another in some bedroom or other, on lush red velvet, and entwined in one another, hit peaks of ecstasy Eckleberg could only dream of. The yellow car would have tenderly nudged the steel glasses from the doctor's painted face. It would have smoothly fingered the rims of them, and then placed them on the dresser beside them, only to look him deep into his all-seeing eyes. What things have you seen, T.J.? Thomas James. Doctor. The car would rumble, all engine and light and empathy. TJ knew the car had to have a heart under its cool steel exterior. It had to have empathy, despite it having the relentless wheels of a murderer. He imagined collapsing under its weight in throes of mechanical passion, and at places in the ash where his heart would have been, something moved with the wind. Eckleberg did not sigh, for he did not have lungs. He did not ball his fists in his eye sockets in despair and frustration, for he did not have any fists. Though he was utterly full of despair and frustration. These new money, old money dickbags, he thought to himself, with their bodies and limbs and mouths and hearts, his loneliness was unrivaled. He was perpetually outside, looking outside or inside, within, without, within, nothing, without a body, without a heart. Though New York sparkled, its distant debauchery like a row of lit firecrackers, Eckleberg looked up to the huge, deep sky, pockmarked with tiny diamond stars. This, for him, was what made it all worthwhile. All day he would watch sweaty men dig roads. All evening he would eavesdrop parties or peep at affairs. And when everything was still, all the fleshy creatures of the city finally out of his line of absolutely impeccable and almost supernatural sight, he gazed up. The moon hung like a dollar coin over the horizon of this glistening, throbbing city. The peace was broken, then, by something Eckleberg had never seen before. A form moving through the sky, silver, almost like a star or a comet, but bigger, more beautiful. This great miracle sailed along the horizon and crept nearer and nearer until he could see all of its delicate curves, the low swoop of a hull beneath a majestic disk of its body. Eckleberg looked closer. What was this angelic wonder called? It was closer by now, not at all close enough to even skirt the ridge of his board, but close enough for him to read what appeared to be a saucy tattoo on the silver angel's side. USS Enterprise. NC-1701. USS! That must mean a sailor. Thought Eckleberg. How delightful. Not only this, but a star sailor. What a wonderful thing to cruise through the night sky. What things he could see from there, he fancied. Everything. Maybe even the entire world. How Eckleberg envied this beautiful angel, and again cursed his useless form. This great ship, as though somehow intercepting his loneliness, suddenly shot a strip of gleaming white down from its hull, which penetrated the bleak darkness of the Valley of the Ashes, illuminating everything so suddenly. Eckleberg was damn near blinded, but didn't have time to think. He was moving. Up! He went into the soft metallic folds of the Enterprise, his billboard legs unearthed from the asphalt below him. The night sky was suddenly a dance floor, and all of New York spread itself open before him, and it was a glorious, gorgeous thing, only more gorgeous, for Eckleberg knew he would never have clasped his eyes upon it at all. If the bastard upon it all, and all its bastard debutantes ever again. It was just him, and this ship, this Voyager from above. It was his ship now, he thought to himself, as the steel of it took him inside of itself and consumed him entirely, about to bring him where no man... show him that he didn't have to always be without, finally taking him tenderly, sweetly within.